Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, really glad you're here today.
We're excited to have you here today because we're going to be talking about ways to keep your digital assets organized. So if you have a website, if you have funnels, if you have automations, all of the different digital things that you want and plan to have perhaps that will keep your business flowing and automated and supported, it is really important to have those things set up in such a way that you are able to find them easily, know where they're attached, what's connected to what, and just sort of get a high level view of your strategy and how these things connect together. So we are going to go over some tips and tricks today, including a walkthrough of how to create visual workflows with AttractWell. And we are really looking forward to sharing all of this with you. So if you are new here, welcome. We are so thrilled to have you. Yet another Thursday. We meet here every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. And this is a free opportunity for anybody to come and join, learn about AttractWell, of course, but we also talk about important topics that you could take with you anywhere. So certainly excited to get into that with you. Go ahead and head into the chat and let us know where you're coming in from. We are always excited to learn about you and where you are in the world. So if you can bear with me just a second, I've got a little bit of a technical difficulty with my slides today. Greg and I are going to be hopping out of slides here in just a, or sorry, hopping out of video here in just a moment so that we could take a look at these slides together. And I think we're good to go. Okay, thank you. Bear with me. Hello and welcome, Anakani. I salute you. It is what, 2 a.m. in Okinawa? Welcome to everyone here from every corner of the world. We're always so thrilled to have you. So, all right, I think my slides are good. So we show 4 o'clock. Wow. All right, salute to you. All right, we're going to hop out of video and get into these slides. We're going to talk again about how we can stay organized with AttractWell using visual workflows and system tools, as well as just some general operating knowledge that you may or may not have been familiar with that you can bring into how you run your AttractWell system. And of course, your sort of digital universe, the systems that power your brand and business online. So today we're going to talk about how you stay organized as you grow with AttractWell. So this is going to be a great training for you if you are just getting started or if you need to tighten things up, right? If you are feeling a little overwhelmed and maybe having a difficult time remembering where you put something in your AttractWell system, then this is going to be a great sort of overview for you to know what to do to go in and start cleaning up and reorganizing some of the features that you have enabled. We're also going to talk about some general tips and best practices, as well as a built-in tool that we have to support your organizational endeavors. And then we'll talk about how to create and use visual workflows for your funnels and your website. And we'll be doing that not in AttractWell, but in a tool that you probably are already using, and it is free, and that is Canva. So if you have Canva, the free or paid plan, you'll be able to follow along with the visual modeling that I'll be sharing with you here today. So if you are new, again, welcome. We are so excited to have you. But if you're watching this as a replay, I want to encourage you to head over to attractwell.com/office hours so that you can get on our list and be the first to know about all of our upcoming trainings and to be able to join us live on a Zoom call like this one. If you would like to reserve space on an upcoming call, as at least one person has today, you can go to attractwell.com/work review. We dedicate the second half of these calls to working together with our community. So if you would like to reserve a slot on an upcoming Thursday session, you're welcome to do that by going to this site. And if you would like for someone to do some of this work for you, you can go to attractwell.com/concierge to learn more about our team and request a quote. Now, who here needs a little spring cleaning in your digital systems? Have you logged into your AttractWell account and maybe not remembered where you left things off, or you're not sure about what connects to what, or if I need to update that thing, what other things might fall in dominoes if I do that, right? If that's you, you're going to love this. So let's talk about how to stay organized with AttractWell. 3 key things that you're going to want to know. The first thing is that we want to establish naming conventions, which is just a kind of a fancy tech way of telling you that you need to have a system around how you name things and you need to keep it. We'll talk about what that looks like. We'll also talk about collections, which is a feature that is in AttractWell that you can utilize to keep things organized. And then we will talk about how to create and use visual workflows to really provide a documentation of the systems that you're creating so that you can obviously easily go in and see with a bird's eye view what is what and why, right? And where things are. But also importantly, if you plan to, or if you currently have team working with you, or if you outsource any element of your business, then of course this is going to be a really important tool for you to have in place for someone to be able to support you effectively. So first, let's talk about naming conventions. We don't need special softwares or even to learn the bells and whistles of AttractWell to understand this concept. So naming conventions as it pertains to your website and how you set things up, not just on your website, but on all of the supporting systems and features connected to it. So this is going to apply to how you tag your contacts, how you name your follow-up plans, your campaigns, your pages, and so on. So what you want to do first is name your resources according to their use and their association. So that would mean, for instance, we're going to go name a funnel or purpose, and then the type of asset, right? So an example here might be the landing page for my 3 habits funnel. So that would be 3 habits landing page, right? It's a landing page and it is related to the 3 habits funnel, right? I'm naming the funnel 3 habits. Everything in it is going to be called 3 habits. Now, you want to make sure that you're going to use those same keywords. In this case, 3 habits would be the example for all of the linked or associated resources for that purpose. So in this case, if we have a funnel where we're offering a 3 habit guide, then we're going to have our 3 habit PDF or video or whatever, and it's going to be named 3 habits in your system. You'll have a landing page. You will name it 3 habits. Your initial nurture campaign will also be named 3 habits. And you're also going to include the words initial nurture because that is the function of that campaign. 3 habits confirmation page. You see where I'm going. If you have a call booking funnel, if the point of conversion in your pipeline from lead to client or lead to at least offer of sale is to have a call with someone, then you're going to want to have a funnel that connects someone to your booking opportunity. And maybe at the front end of that funnel, you are collecting some information from that lead so that you're going in empowered into your call with them. In this case, we're going to call our funnel and all of its assets for our call funnel, right? So you could just type in the word call funnel and you can find all of those assets in the search bar in your AttractWell system. So our landing page will call call funnel. Our campaign for this will also call call funnel. And then of course, the booking page will also be called call funnel booking page. Now I want to note here that you do have a differentiation to take into account. There are what we call resources, which is what we're focusing on today. And those are going to be called name. So you see under page settings, there is name, Are You Crunchy landing page. Under campaign, there is name, Are You Crunchy email. Now, this is what we call it, and it's what we see when we are searching for resources in our system. There is another side to this, the flip side, the published side, if you will, of this, and that's going to show up in the title bar text of pages or the link path. That's what your leads or the public is going to see. These are not always going to be the same names. In fact, it's often not going to be the same names because in this case, we're going to be calling this funnel Are You Crunchy? Because 3 ways being crunchy can change your life is the actual name of the lead magnet that we're offering. So that's the language that we need to be maintaining with the leads. But for our use, we're just going to call this Are You Crunchy just to keep it short and sweet. And so all of the assets for this funnel, the landing page, the campaign, the confirmation page, whatever, they're all going to be named Are You Crunchy? So this is a naming convention. We're giving it its name. So we have sort of a keyword for this particular use. And then of course there is what it is. So on a page, it can be a confirmation page, it can be a landing page, a booking page, etc. You do want to make sure that you are denoting that in your internal, and that's the name on the left-hand side here, naming systems. And here where you see under campaigns, you do have your internal name for it. So here's Are You Crunchy? And I'm specifying that it is an email-based campaign. And we have the name that's shown to the contact if they were to modify their communication settings with you. They would be able to see that this is the name of the campaign that they are subscribed to. Now, speaking of campaigns, we do have a really cool feature in campaigns. This also exists in videos with AttractWell, where you can organize into collections. So if you are someone who is maybe working a lot with the resources that we've provided through our courses or through other course creators, content creators that utilize AttractWell and share resources that plug into AttractWell, if you are someone who's claiming resource bundles from us or from the community, I want to highly encourage you to make sure that you are utilizing this collections feature to organize your resources, right? Because you can wind up with a lot of campaigns. So I want to encourage you to set up your collections and name them, use a naming convention that's based either on, say, the provider, right? So where it came from, or you could set it up based on how you plan to use it. So if this is an initial nurture campaign, you're going to want to make sure that you rename it initial nurture, right? So these are all initial nurture campaigns. I have one for my 3 habits guide. I have one for how being crunchy can change your life, right? And so those are all going to be in my collection called initial nurture campaigns, but maybe I have another collection called sales campaigns, right? And then, of course, again, if you are claiming resources from other providers, then you want to make sure that you are renaming those bundles, the resources in the bundles that you claim, so that they fit your naming conventions. I'll give you an example. If you want to build a new client onboarding system, you're going to be creating different resources in AttractWell to fulfill that system's functions. So in this case, you would have a new client automation. So maybe when someone signs up as a new client, an automation is applied to that contact, and that automation is going to apply a tag. So it will call them client. Maybe if you have a vault for your clients, it might add them also to your client vault. And of course, the name of your vault does need to be one that reflects the name that your people see. That's not an internal versus external name. But for the campaign, of course, you want to call that new client welcome campaign. If you have a follow-up plan for your new clients, you want to name that new client follow-up plan. And then maybe you have a contact preferences page where your new client can specify whether they want to hear from you via email or text. And of course, you would call that page new client. Remember the naming convention here being new client is the keyword. And then purpose, right? Contact preferences page. Now, if you have a lead funnel, which is a common example for all of us, we have our PDF. It's called 3 Habits to Boost Energy. So we then have a 3 Habits landing page. We're naming it 3 Habits, right? Everything is going to be called 3 Habits here. 3 Habits landing page. The tag that applies is going to be called also 3 Habits. The initial nurture campaign that we apply is going to be called 3 Habits. And then finally, we have our 3 Habits confirmation page, which is the last thing someone's going to see before they go check their email to get that PDF from you that's in the campaign. All of these are named 3 Habits. So this is the naming convention, right? Naming convention is having a system wherein you name things consistently based on their function or their origin, depending on how you want to have this set up in your system. There's no one absolute correct way. This is one that you're going to want to make sure that you are codifying and keeping in place for yourself. And one way that I absolutely love to do this is to document and catalog your systems with visual models. All right, so I'm going to be showing you how to go into whiteboards in Canva and get this thing done. So for funnels, if you're going to map out your funnel visually, you're going to want to use a linear flowchart model. Now, if you're not familiar with this, don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like and how you can create one very easily in just a moment. So for funnels, you're going to use a linear flowchart model. And for your website, if you want to use a similar approach here to kind of document what pages you create on your website are for, then you can actually create a hierarchical flowchart or an organizational chart using whiteboards in Canva to map out what your pages are on your site, which one connects to the other, and really kind of see from a, a high level perspective where your visitors are going to be drawn to go based on where they go on your site. So let's go learn how to do this using whiteboards in Canva and then get into our help for today. Let me change my share over here to our there we go, to our browser. So in Canva, where I would like for you to go, and again, this is something you can do with free Canva, so you don't have to have a additional paid tool for this. You can go over here to Whiteboard. So we click Whiteboard. And you have a few different options. You can start from scratch with elements, and maybe, you can pop a square in here. There is this quick flow here. I can show you how to use this. Quick flow is a really cool thing that you're going to want to enable if you're creating a flow chart. So all you have to do is click your element here, click more, and then enable quick flow. And essentially what that means is you can click here and then create another thing, right? And then create another thing and create another thing. So where we will start here is if this one is for our funnel. So we're going to call this our 3 habits funnel. The first part of our funnel is, of course, our 3 habits landing page. Now, when someone opts in on the 3 habits landing page, a couple of things are happening. The first thing that's happening is they're going to be tagged, right? So this is going to be tag 3 habits. The next thing that's going to happen is they're going to receive a campaign, 3 habits, right? And then they're going to go to a confirmation page, and that's going to be the 3 habits confirmation page. Now, we're going to make this just slightly more complicated here because it's going to help you visualize this better. So I'm going to go to this element here. I'm going to change its color, and I'm going to change its shape. So here's our tag. I'm going to shrink this down just a bit. This is something that's happening in the background. So I want to delineate that from what the client can see or what the lead can see. So they see the landing page, they see the confirmation page, but they don't see that a tag is applied, and they don't see that a campaign is applied either. So let's go ahead and change these shapes. So I changed the color to match this one, sort of a hidden thing, change that shape as well. And then I'm holding down the shift key while resizing this so that I am retaining the shape. Okay, so now they land on the 3 habits confirmation page, and then they're going to begin receiving messages, right? So this is our day 0 message, links to, and this is going to be the 3 habits PDF. They see this, right? So I'm going to keep this the same color. Maybe I'll change the shape just to delineate because this is a page and this is a page. I'll change this to a circle because that's a message, right? And then I'm going to drag down, and then maybe here, if you're going to be linking off with multiple calls to action to different places in your campaign, then you're going to want to specify in each of these circles that we're creating here so that you're clear on where they're going. So, because we are going to actually be linking to those things here in just a moment. So maybe on day 1 message, links to apply for, or what do we call that? Call funnel landing page. So you see, we're actually keeping our naming conventions, right? We're calling them what we call them in AttractWell. And in a second, I'm going to actually show you how you can even link directly to the things that you want to link to from this flow chart. So there's our day 1 message. Maybe we've got a bit of time here where we're continually linking to the same thing. And then down here, we have our day 10 message. And maybe in this one, we aren't linking to book a call. Maybe this is a spear message, so we don't really, we're not linking to anything. We're just expecting them to respond to us. And then we're going to apply an automation. So we're again going to turn that gray like I turned the others. We're going to change the shape. What did I do up here? These were diamonds. And I'm going to shrink them down. And if you guys are familiar with any of the trainings that I've done about email marketing and building your list, after someone has opted into your campaign, on the last message, you're going to send a spear email, short, specific, expecting a response, and you're going to attach an automation. And that's apply general mailing list tag, right? So we're going to have the general mailing list tag applied when this final message sends. Right? So you can actually see this is the full picture of your 3 habits funnel. Now, if we're going to take into account where else this goes, right, we're going to be linking them off, for instance, to our call funnel landing page. So this is call funnel landing page, and that needs to be a square because our pages are squares here, right? So we're going to our call funnel landing page where they're going to fill out a form. Then the next thing that happens is they are going to receive a campaign is going to be applied. And remember, this is something that's happening in the background. So we're going to turn it gray and use that diamond shape again. And so here we're going to, this is going to be the call funnel campaign is applied. And then finally, they're going to land on our booking page. And that's going to be a page, again, just going back to that same color we used and back to the page shape. So this is going to be the call funnel booking page. All right, so this would be, if we are going to maybe look at this from the perspective of taking them from the top of our funnel, where they are offered our free thing, they opt in, and then if they convert, we're moving them over here. Now, another thing that you might choose to do here is, here, let me scoot this over a bit. And I'm going to delete this guy. And I'm going to add a new thing. And maybe I'm going to attach an automation here. This is where you can, again, kind of visually coordinate so you can see this automation. Remove the 3 habits campaign. Right? So that's a thing that's happening in the background. We are removing the 3 habits campaign because it has continual calls to action to send them over here to this call funnel, right? So we don't want to continue selling them on the call if they've already opted in for it. So this would be an example, again, of a full picture of what your funnel flow would look like, right? And you can repeat this for multiple funnels in your system, because you may have, if your conversion event, for instance, is going to be getting someone onto a call with you, then you're going to basically set your funnels up exactly the same way each time, right? So if you create a new lead magnet, right? So if you have a new one that is, your 3 ways being crunchy can change your life, then you're going to use the exact same system, right? And you can map it all out this way. Now, let me show you how you can actually go in and connect to all of the pieces in your system so that you can link to them straight from here. So if we go to our dashboard and then we go to our pages, now granted, I don't think I have a 3 habits landing page, but I'll just type in landing here. That's a landing page template. So maybe if I'm actually using the landing pages feature, I could link here. I think, here we go, Crunchy. So I can actually take this, and this is the editor view. And this would allow you, if you're signed into AttractWell, to just jump straight over here and make any changes to it that you want to, right? So if I go here, I can actually go to more and hit link, or you can hit Command or Control K, and then you can paste in that link. Now, if you ever want to edit that landing page, you can actually click here and jump straight over to it. Now you can do this similarly with your campaign. So there's our 3 habits campaign. So maybe in the settings here, this one only has the default campaign attached, but you can actually go into your campaigns and you can link again to that internal link inside of AttractWell so that you can go through, jump straight to that thing that is, that you need to edit. And here we go. Here's 3 ways being crunchy can change your life. I'm just going to copy this link and I'm going to head straight over here. And again, I'm going to add that link so that if I need to edit the campaign, I can. I can do the same again with the confirmation page. I can link the PDF right here if I want to from my files section in AttractWell. And then of course, we're going to be linking to our call funnel landing page, to our automation and our campaign and so on. So you can actually create a full map of where all these things are so that if you, for instance, need to update this funnel in the future, then you can actually go straight here and it'll take you right to where you need to go. So you have a visual map of how the different resources in your system connect together as well. Now, what if you want to map your website? In that case, you're going to want to use a slightly different chart. That's going to be more like an organizational chart. And you could even type in Canva over here in Whiteboard, you can type in website and you can scroll down and you can actually see that there are site maps. Here's a really great one right here that is quite simple. And you can actually see if you use the templates in Canva for whiteboards, they actually have great tips and guidelines on how to use them, which is really, really cool. So just as an example, I actually have one that's kind of already created for you here. So if this is our website map, we are going to have our homepage at the top, right? And then we're going to maybe have an About Me page, and the call to action on the About Me page is going to be to send them to your call funnel landing page. From your homepage, maybe there is your funnel landing page. So this is your offer. Maybe you have a courses page where they can then learn about other courses on your site. Maybe you have a work with me page where they can learn about different offerings, right? So each of these entries, so all of these shapes represent a page on your website. All of these would represent a page on your website, and it's hierarchical because the home page is the main page, of course. And where could we go from the home page? Well, it's going to be here, 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 or here, right? And then once they go here, where do they go from here? So if it is a courses page, then you can send them to course 1 sales page, course 2 waitlist page, course 3 sales page, etc. On your work with me page, you could send them to your call booking funnel. You could send them to a page that explains different offerings you have, etc. Right? And then of course you have those additional pages that you might have on your website. So for instance, in your funnel, you've got your landing page. Here you might have your authority page. And in this case, again, you want to make sure that you're naming these with your naming convention. So don't just call this funnel landing page, call this 3 habits landing page. Call this 3 habits authority page. Call this 3 habits lead magnet delivery page, right? Name them according to your naming convention. And then here's a really cool thing that you can do, and this works really cool in whiteboards, is if you have published pages on your site, you can actually link to them as individual items like these shapes on a whiteboard in Canva. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So if we go to pages on Jane's site, in her system, I'm going to type in home because that is the name of her home page. Well, she's actually, you wouldn't do this, but this is a dummy account. Don't name your page homepage template, but hers is named that. So I'm actually going to go view site, and you can actually see. And we could copy the URL from up top and then check this out. I'm going to come over here to this one, and I'm not touching anything. Like I don't have anything selected. I'm going to hit Command or Control V as in Victor to paste. And why isn't she showing up? It might be because I don't have, let me see. It was working on the other one. Weird. Let me see if this makes a difference. Okay, well, for some reason Canva isn't, it's being buggy with this. It can often, which is very cool, generate an actual image icon of your page. I think that what might be the case here is that I might not have like a custom image set up. Yeah, if you have a custom sharing image set up, it will populate. And it will actually show up here on your board. So you would be able to just click and take them straight there. So in the event that you don't have that set up, from your home page here, you can actually again select the icon and you can choose to link it. So I'm going to click it, Command K, and paste. And there we go. Now, when we click this, it'll take us over to the published version of the page, or this is, well, that's the favorites page, not the home page, but you get my drift. So what you would do here is either, if you want to use this chart as a way to look at the published versions of things, then you could certainly do that here. But you could also, as I demonstrated here in this funnel, use those internal editor links. So that would be attractwell.com/app, and then whatever, that's going to be your link to go and edit that particular asset. So you could do the same thing for all of the pages on your site. So you can actually map those out. So I'm seeing people wish that they, wishing it was 5 o'clock already. So if you have questions or you would like some clarification on anything that I've shared with you here today, I do not think that you need to go running off to a bar just yet. This can be simple, and hopefully now that you know that you can play around with resources like that, with creating these visual models, it can be a little easier for you to manage and run this moving forward. So let me pop over and make sure that I know Greg has been getting into the questions here. All right, Cheryl says, let's see, you've got questions about emails and getting a website moved over. Awesome. So Cheryl, I will definitely get to that. I do have Charisse and Melvia signed up for live work reviews. If you are here for a live work review, if you signed up for one, I see Dr. Melvia, I'll go ahead and bring you out. And Charisse Forrest, if you're here, definitely pop your hand up for me so that I know it's you. And I'll make sure that you're next in queue. And Cheryl, to sign up for a live review like this, you can go to attractwell.com/work review, and then you can actually set aside dedicated time here. But after Dr. Melvia and I go through her questions, I'm sure we'll have enough time to maybe look at what's going on with yours as well. So thank you for your patience. Hey, Doc, how can I help?
Hi, Coach Ashley. Hi, Greg. Hi, everyone. It is good to be here. So long story short, I had a funnel in many different places. You know how that goes. Pieces here, pieces there, pieces everywhere. And in December or January, what I did was I revisited AttractWell, and I aimed to kind of just my first order of business was moving everything over to AttractWell and closing down all the other accounts. Now I'm at the point where I am recreating all of those pieces. However, I am, running into little snags here and there, redirected the websites. I've done all that fun stuff. Now I'm looking at just the fine details that would make everything nice and smooth. And today's, presentation was really, really helpful. So I'm thinking that is probably something I need, but basic is it's both services and health coaching.
Okay.
And the major conversion event is pretty much a call.
Okay.
So wondering how to marry those two. That's the idea there.
Yeah. So for the services and the coaching, is the audience the same?
I would say I have made them the same.
Okay,
So it's almost
excellent.
like one, right. I've made them the same. There is almost like the 80-20 split just in case somebody doesn't fully fit, but I'm using my discretion. It's like a 20% discretionary whether or not you come into the general practice. That I don't publish that all that much. We've done some life changes, so I kind of reestablished the business, and I'm focusing on marketing the business side of things. Sorry, excuse me.
Mhm.
However, if let's say they're kind of thinking they want something a little bit more hands-on, then I can back burner the services and say, this is what we've got for you to help.
Got you. So the conversion for any of these, though, at this point is going to be some
Is
kind
a
of an
call.
exploratory call. Okay, excellent.
You got it. You got it.
So then what you could do the services in the health coaching, do the outcomes differ in a very significant way?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, so you could
I
simply
don't
have
think
a,
they do that. It's just the timing.
got you.
A
Okay.
one-off versus I've contained you and I'm golfing your really high touch experience.
Perfect. Yeah. So I would say that you simply create a work with me page and then kind of outline sort of what those different things are. And then the call to action in any case is going to be sign up for a call. So you would use the lead form on that work with me page to collect their information, especially asking questions that are maybe going to be indicators to you as to which, product or service or what have you, you would want to position in front of them when you do have a call. And then, you just get to make that decision on the back end, once you have
When
that
we have
call
the
with them.
conversation, right?
Yeah, and then you could
Would you
have a couple of
suggest, oh, sorry,
pages. You could have a couple of
right.
pages on your website that maybe outline the services in greater detail or outline coaching in greater detail, but those don't need to be publicly visible or discoverable on your site, as they're only something that you're going to offer once someone has had that call with you and they are, really kind of qualified to become a client.
I agree. I agree. That was one of my questions. Right now, I don't have the services outlined. I used what is it? I am currently building out the coaching piece on a non-published site. So it is hidden. Only if, there's a link or whatever, then they'll be able to find it, but otherwise, no.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly workable. I mean, you're going to be really covering the bases of anything that would need to be covered on a page when you're on that call with a client. So you have the ability to, fill in the gaps. If you don't have a page already, you could send them an email with that information, right? Because it's not something that
Okay,
just needs to be accessible as part of the frame of your website. It's really just more of a supporting tool for closing. That could even be in a PDF or, like I said, just sent in an email, because you will have already had that conversation to qualify that person.
got it. Okay. And I don't know if you've seen the website. Have you seen it, Ashley or Greg?
We can go
Either
take a
one
look
of
right
you?
now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just like
Okay,
honest first impressions,
sure.
what the experience is in terms of the user.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can get
I
that
see
pulled
that I
up.
have to do some naming conventions for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not something that most of us really ever walk into any of this like knowing that we need to do from the get-go. So,
For sure.
okay. Okay, so the very first thing, make sure that
Change that my page.
the title bar, this is called title bar text in the page settings.
So I changed that to VO Wellness Solutions then.
Love it.
This training ought to be like this technically should be a landing thing, the way that it was structured before, but I don't think I've connected it well. In fact, if you press connect, it will take you to the webinar without inputting your information, and that is not serving the right purpose.
Okay.
So I don't know how to. So if you didn't put anything at all, Ashley, and just press connect with me, it might do. Oh, look at that! It changed.
Okay, so well, let's take a look. So you
Typical. Yeah,
mentioned you mentioned maybe using a pop-up for that previously, or using a form on the page instead of a landing page, right?
not sure. I can't remember.
Okay. Okay. So first, this is going to be we'll call this what is this?
Via Wellness Solutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will work, and then we'll call this home, just to keep this clean. All right. So then under leads, under settings, do you plan to utilize this page to collect leads or fulfill any other function? Like, like using a pop-up or a form
Those
on the
are
page?
very high level questions, Ashley. All my intention was to get all my information over here.
Okay, okay, perfect.
That
So
is all I did. So today is enlightening me. I really don't know yet.
okay, okay, excellent. So what I would do is, all right, so banish belly bloat, shed double their energy so they can thrive in their bodies. I would encourage you to maybe incorporate just a touch more copy here that tells them about the training. So yes, there's a training, but is it, watch my 23-minute video that'll help, and you'll learn my 3 tips to XYZ, right?
Got it.
Yeah, so just something a bit more compelling. But what I would actually encourage you to do is keep them on this page. And so in that case, right here where it says watch training, instead of sending them to this landing page, you would go #lead here. And I'm not going to update that just yet, but you go #lead. And then under settings, you would actually set up your lead capture form here. And so that way it's a pop-up on the page and you can say, you can tell them more about this webinar, right? And so this is your opportunity in the pop-up to say on the webinar, you'll learn, currency 1, 2, 3, sign up now to get access to this, etc. And so you can put that into this lead capture message here, and then you can choose where they go after a lead register. So this would be your initial nurture campaign that delivers them that webinar, the tag that's related to the webinar, and then of course you would want to send them either to an authority page or to a confirmation page. And of course you would send them a link to actually watch the video in the campaign that you attach right here. So I would actually put the funnel on the homepage if you aren't using it for anything else. That would
Put
be
it on the homepage. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Homepage.
This is great. And this is going to your about page.
I don't know what that goes anymore. Oh, there we are. It's almost like this is almost like a it's
like a
copy to get
sales
them to
letter.
go back to that website. Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then if you wanted to send them back, if you're going to be using this as a pop-up, what you would do is you would send them back to the home page. And so the link that you would put in here would be, and here, I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate this for you. And you absolutely can have a separate landing page. By all means, have a separate landing page if you want to. But since this is something that you're offering above the fold here, I do think that it would be a good fit to have it on this page where you're grabbing that registration. So what we would do here is that we would go #lead. And if I update that and we go over here to this, you can actually see this would open the pop-up, right? And you would have space for copy, etc. But the link that you would use would be your it would be this about, let's see, let me go back to, there we go. And then you would go #lead. This is the link that you would actually put into this button right here. Essentially, it's going to take them back to your homepage and pop the lead form up.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
I definitely have to watch this again.
But so here's the thing, right? Is the webinar that you're using, this is an important thing. Like, is it something that you're using as a lead magnet, or is it something that you're using as more of a sales tool, like an automated sales tool? Like
automated sales tool, because there is a website that links back to this one. I forwarded it, so it links back to one of the, it links back to the call booking.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely,
so
I would treat that similarly.
Go ahead.
I would treat that similarly to if it were a PDF or anything else, for sure. So yeah, having it here on your page would be fine. You certainly could, like, if it were something, and this is for really more for the benefit of everyone watching, if you have a webinar or a webinar style presentation as a part of an automated sales process, that I think warrants more of a case to have its own independent page, because you want to maybe position it as being like, you're going to want to take these 45 minutes, really focus on this thing. This is really, really, really important, etc. But if we are, kind of positioning it front and center, more like we would get my free guide, then you could certainly put it this way and you don't necessarily have to create a separate page.
Okay. The its initial iteration was what you just mentioned. So let's say this sales script would have been an ad, right? And that ad would have gone out. They would have seen the webinar, and then they would have gone through their own process to get to where we are now, on a call.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's fine. I mean, again, you certainly could use an additional page. But I would, instead of using our landing page feature, I would encourage you to create a page for it. Because that way you have, you can say what it is, you can give some of the higher level points, but then you can also create more sections on the page that are maybe testimonials from people who've watched it, and here are the things that they've learned, or maybe just
Got it.
client testimonials, just more things that are
Got
going
it.
to convince someone to give you that much of their time.
There is such a page that was being built out,
Okay.
wherever that is. It's not published. It's somewhere in there. Probably on the
Okay.
second page, actually. Oh no, it's services. You see, this is why I need to name them. It's under services. Yeah.
Okay. Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what was that
Mm,
is a work in progress. And that
got
kind
you.
of, talks about that stuff.
And is this
It's
this
not
is pointing
done.
to the webinar?
This is pointing to the, actually, there's a good question. No, it points to the program.
Oh,
It points to the program.
got
That's
you.
why
But
it's not
you
published.
got you. So you're basically, your flow is opt in as a lead, watch the webinar, get on a call with me, then I will show you the sales page.
Oh,
Does that sound right? Because I mean,
well,
if
I'm hearing
the
it for the first time
program,
in those, in that way.
well, tell
They
me if I'm
wouldn't know
wrong.
about the program until they've had the conversation. No, you said it. I'm pretty sure you said it perfectly.
Okay.
I just didn't think about it that way. So I like that big picture thing. So opt-in webinar call, then program. And yes, I believe that will be the case because they wouldn't learn about the program until they're on the call.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense, I think, for you operating as an ND, because you're dealing with all different types of, like, someone who has condition A is going to need to be closed differently from someone who has condition B, even if the way that you treat them is more or less the same. So getting onto a call with them, and especially because the nature of your work is such that you need to know that someone is actually right to be your client. So yeah, basically the workflow is going to be, get a free thing from Dr. Melvia's site, start getting emails from Dr. Melvia that show you, hey, you really should get on a call with me if you were this, that, or the other thing. And then after they get on a call with you and you determine whatever the thing is that you want to offer them, then you send out the email with a link to a page where they can read more about it, which could certainly be a page like this. And then of course this page could take payment for you, and you could walk them through it on the call as well, which if you're closing on calls, or at least if you're having these exploratory calls, then I would actually encourage you to maybe, like, if it's possible, have them confirm that they'll be near a computer or a device while they're on a call with you, because when you want to share the offer, you can actually send them the link, have them confirm that they see the page, scroll down, and then you can instruct them to, put their credit card information in, etc. You can actually close on the call.
Okay. I'm definitely going to need help with this and revisit this several times. So this has been super helpful, Ashley, for sure. Thank you.
I'm glad. Thanks for coming out. Great work. And feel free to come back.
Sure.
We can work on it some more.
Brilliant. I will. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Cheryl, I'm going to bring you out in just a moment. Donna says, I found that my screen doesn't model what teacher illustrates and how to create an online course. So I have several steps where I'm stumped. Can you, Donna, maybe let me know what step that might be? We did refilm that course pretty recently. There aren't a lot of changes to it. That there's definitely not any super significant ones that I can think of since we refilmed that recently. So if there's a stage in the process, if you could specify, then we can just get straight to it and be happy to show you. And yeah, 100%, Donna, if you want to go to attractwell.com/work review, we can actually set aside dedicated space on an upcoming call, like we just did with Dr. Melvia, to walk through whatever you would like to walk through, for sure. Neftaria, I don't see you down for, I see, so I have a Charisse, Forrest signed up today, and Melvia, and next week, Karen and Donna, and next week we've got, so yeah, you, if you're having trouble seeing an upcoming one, then maybe just shoot us a message. We may just need to have like an open help call within the next couple of weeks, so we don't put you too far off. But one thing that I do want to point out and show you guys, getting together on a call like this is not your only option. We do, of course, obviously our concierge services, it is a great place to go if you would like someone to sit down in a dedicated way and give you like, full sort of consult on your site 100%, or your vaults and your courses and things like that. You could certainly go to that. But if you go over here to our Success Academy, there are actually live calls that are being held every week. So if you go to get help from a real person, there's a group help call, and it runs at different times than these Thursday calls. We've got Fridays in the evenings. We've got we've got additional, I think this is like cross-referencing with my own personal availability, so it might not be all corrected. But you'll have lots of different options here to work with Pam. And Pam is an absolute whiz in AttractWell, and she's a designer, she's a strategist, and she is super, super helpful. So that's another option as well. Okay, I need to understand how to-dos are assigned in a multi-member organization. There is no place to pick an assignee. So you can have a teammate in your system, so you can actually add team to your system. But the to-dos are contact-based, right? So what you may want to do if you have multiple people utilizing your system, you're using one system together, is you might want to maybe add tags for your organizational members' names to assign those leads or those clients to those individuals, right? And the to-dos are going to be applied again at the contact level. So if there are 5, 10 things that need to be done per contact, you would want to say, this contact belongs to this team member, this contact belongs to this team member. And the way that you could do that is by tagging them with the name of that team member, and nobody else is going to see that but you and your team. Okay. Okay. Oh, great, Rachel. Thank you for specifying that. Okay, Cheryl, let me bring you out real quick, and you can ask your questions about emails and your website being moved over. Go ahead.
All right. Yes. And thank you. That's why I put wait until the end after everybody else has done it. I know it's a different topic, but I'm stuck. I followed everything that people have said to do on getting my domain. I canceled the current service. I went in and changed the A record and changed the CNAME record, and I heard from Julie, who said I have it set up in my account, CherylHayes.com. And if you try to go to CherylHayes.com, it says, really? 2 minutes ago, I checked this 30 seconds ago, and it said that there was an SSL issue or something.
Well, it looks like it worked
And
out.
so, what the hell? This is my life. Technology absolutely hates me. So it looks like it's there, and it's a Meet Cheryl is showing up first until we get everything set up. So good. Thank you, demigods, because that answered that one question, because it wasn't working. Here's my thing that goes with it. I had Namecheap, and I was using them to host. It had an email with it. All right. And I had that email automatically forward over to just my regular Microsoft account that's tied to my other website, empowerstrategist.com. I'm trying to figure out for this website how to set up the emails and where to have them go, because I find things for emails on AttractWell, every place I'm searching, but I don't see how you set up an email itself, if that makes sense.
Got you. Yeah. So in your system, and I'll actually show you in the Jane account here. If you go up here to your name and your contact information, this is where you can determine the email address from which communications will be sent out of your AttractWell account to your leads and your clients. So this is where you set that up, right? Is you simply put it in here, and then you'll get a prompt up here in red that says, you know, to confirm your email address. So that is how you set that up from a I want to send from standpoint. If you would like to have AttractWell to actually host your email for you, like you have had in the past, then you can just shoot a message to support@attractwell.com, and they can work with you to get that sorted out. It is a slight additional charge. It's definitely cheaper than getting it from Google. From like Google for Business, from G Suite. I think it's like $5 or something a month. And so, yeah, you could have our team set up the email on your domain for you, or of course, like absorb that, like move it over. Greg knows how to do those things. I don't.
Oh, okay, so that's an option, or I could just set it up under my current Microsoft account and just put that right email into the area, like connect to Cheryl, instead of having it just go to me or info.
So you do want to make sure that the email address that you are emailing people from matches the domain on your website. That like you want to make sure that you are doing that. So it needs to be like something at CherylHayes.com, right? Like Cheryl at Cheryl Hayes, hello at Cheryl Hayes, whatever that might be for you. How you receive your emails, you have lots of options where that's concerned. So like you mentioned, having had it hosted by Namecheap, you've had it forwarded to your Microsoft. You could actually do that with getting email through us as well. So if you are breaking up with your provider, like if you're breaking up with Namecheap and you want to bring that email address over to AttractWell, you would basically use it the exact same way that you're using it from Namecheap. You would just be getting it from us instead.
Okay, I'm glad, Greg, you're shaking your head yes, because I'm confused. Here's the thing, right? So I have 2 domains. I've taken y'all's advice and I'm trying to put things under Cheryl Hayes, but my business side, I still have Empower Strategist set up. That is tied to my Microsoft account for, you know, all of my Microsoft Office,
Right.
all my calendars, everything is set up under C Hayes at empowerstrategist.com. Moving that at some point in the future isn't going to be easy. And it's certainly something I'm not willing to do right at this second. I don't have the time to do that. So my email that's in AttractWell is my C Hayes at Empower Strategist. On the website, when people connect with me, they might just connect through. I don't want them necessarily connecting direct to that. I would like it to connect to like a booking Cheryl at CherylHayes.com that is then forwarded over, so that I know how they're what are they connecting with me for.
Yep, that makes sense. So in that case, you would just set up a new email address, and you could have that forward to your Microsoft as well, just like the others that you have.
Okay, all right. And then real quick, last question on Zoom. I would love to be able to cancel my current Zoom account, but it's tied into my calendar. And when I go in AttractWell to try and schedule, it doesn't, you know, I don't know how to link my Microsoft Office calendar so that when it brings up schedule a meeting, it's showing that I'm booked.
Got you.
So is there, and I've searched, I've got like five AttractWell websites open right now, trying to search to see where's an article on it, because you guys are phenomenal. But I must be typing in the wrong thing to search. So where would I go to find out how to do this?
You're right. So calendar booking is not an integrated feature in AttractWell at this point. What we often encourage is to get Calendly, for instance. That is they have a Oh, perfect. So you're going to want to integrate your Microsoft Office availability in with your Calendly, right?
It is.
Okay. And so
but your Zoom, but the Zoom isn't. So when I go to do Zoom, right now in my Microsoft, it's tied to my current business Zoom account. If I cancel that current business Zoom account, because y'all offer Zoom, how do I connect it to the AttractWell Zoom?
Right. So in your Calendly, you're going to, and this is actually where you might benefit from one of the trainings. I'll actually show you what I am referring to here under live training and replays. Let me see, call booking, I think. I wonder if that'll bring it up. Calendar booking and scheduling. So this training right here. Yeah. Calendar booking and scheduling with AttractWell. I'm going to pop this into the chat. I walk through the exact steps to follow. And essentially what you're doing here is you're creating a recurring Zoom meeting link for a particular type of meeting, right? So if this is a client meeting versus a program live call, right? So here's my live monthly call. It's always going to be this link, but when I meet with potential clients, it's going to be discovery call. When you set up your events in Calendly, you're going to have a location. And there is a direct Zoom integration if you have Zoom like a separate paid account. But the other option there is to go to custom, and that's where you're going to paste in the join link for this. And so then you're using your Calendly to set appointments. And so Calendly is going to be putting those Zoom meetings onto your calendar because you have in Calendly connected it to your Microsoft. And in Calendly, you have your Zoom meeting link that you have set up in AttractWell. And so that way, when someone books with you, you have a call with somebody, or you set it up, they set it up, whatever, they're doing it through Calendly. It's going to your calendar and it's sending them to the Zoom meeting link that's in your AttractWell account. I do go over that in this training though, right here. That's in the chat now.
I'll go over that, and I'm assuming it's talking about how, so I shouldn't still need my external Zoom then.
You do not have to keep your
That I'll pay
external
for.
Zoom. Yeah, you don't
Okay.
have to have that.
All right. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure thing. Okay, Donna. Oops, sorry. There we go. Trying to show a screenshot, but it doesn't work in chat. The video on how to set up the vault in the payment setup doesn't match what my page shows. Send them to Vault, web, or URL. I don't know which ones to choose or why. Want to offer a free call in addition to the workshop. Don't understand how to set up the plan for the free call. Okay. Donna, I'm going to bring you out to chat real quick so we can talk through this. Hi.
Yay. I'm here.
Okay, so all right, so just give me a high level view of what you're wanting to accomplish, and then we can kind of break down what those steps are in the system.
Yeah, I did the how to create an online course because my reason for coming in was to create an online live course and record that and then resell that recorded version as a self-guided course. So I'm just trying to set up that online course, and I've got the payment set up, but I'm really lost on all the different pages I need to create, and where I see pages on the screen, but I don't know how to find them on my screen. It's like it's moving faster than I can figure out, and I keep rewinding and going back. In this one page that's different, the Vault setup page online shows that you can, choose how. I'm trying to make it bigger, that you can choose how to make the payment required, and then it has a place where you can copy the page link. I don't know where to go to edit that page. And so on my Vault setup, under payment setup, it says checkout page options, show mobile phone, require mobile phone, show billing address, and then after someone pays, send them to the Vault web custom page or a URL link. I'm just not sure what to choose, and it doesn't seem to model what I see on screen.
Okay, got you. So, so high level, someone is purchasing this course, and I think you mentioned here in the Q&A as well that you're also wanting to offer a call to people who purchase this course.
Well, I want to offer the call as kind of an attraction. The free call is really to get people engaged and
Got
then
you.
hopefully to opt in to buy the course.
Got you. Okay,
I have
okay.
some people ready to buy the course. I really wish it was just ready for me to say, here's a link, sign up, but I can't get there.
Right, got you. Okay, so we just need to get the course finished. So you've got your payment options set up. That's great. The checkout page message, this is again just going to be the little bit of information that, this is where you're going to put maybe a reiteration of what's covered, any kind of policies or, return, refund, etc. type information. These are fields when they're actually filling out their name, their email, their credit card information, etc. If you want to require this information or to give them a field to put this information in, this is why you would check these boxes. It's optional to you. This is where they go
So
after
I
they
would want to check
purchase.
that.
Uh-huh.
I'd want to check that if I want them to be able to get text reminders or something.
Yeah. So if texting them once a week or something like that is going to be a feature of the experience, in that case you would want to show and require the mobile phone. Yeah. And if, for your purposes, for whatever reason, you need to collect their billing address information, then you could certainly check that off there as well. This is just simply where they go after they've successfully put in their information. So after they've purchased, they go to, and in this case, this is a confirmation page. This is a built-in page in the system, or not built-in, sorry. This is a pre-made page that we created that you can use. But this would be a confirmation page for the course. So letting them know, hey, you did it. Can't wait to see you. Go to your email now. It'll show you how to get access, right? And this page actually has lots of other stuff on it, and they did a training on that as well. If you want to look up the training in our live calls and replays in the Success Academy on creating an app-based experience. But if we go over here to your website pages, this is the page that it's pointing to. And again, I do have in that training the templates and everything to like make this your own. And essentially, we're just encouraging them to download the AttractWell app. Now, if that's not a feature or function of how you want to offer your course, then you don't have to use this page. You could just simply have a basic confirmation page that just tells them you've successfully purchased this thing and tells them what to do next, which is probably going to be to check their email.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a time in the future when the app would make sense. I don't see how it would make sense with the course I'm teaching.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think it would be hard to try to view a course on your phone when you have a bunch of detailed things to look at.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, in that case, I would just go with a more simple confirmation page. It could literally just be a page that has a single one column section that just congratulates them on taking that step, and then it tells them that the details that they're looking for are going to be in their email in the next few minutes. And that would be the page that you select in those settings.
It sounds like there are a number of pages I need to set up in advance before I go through to build the course, because like this confirmation page wasn't there the first time. I had to go watch another course to figure out how to connect to that confirmation page. So I'm just wondering if there's like a diagram that shows me what to create first, second, and third, so that I don't get stuck like that.
Yeah. So I mean, is the course already created?
Yeah, I already created the course. I'm just trying to figure out how to actually offer it online.
Yeah. So we have confirmation page templates right here. You could also, again, just go crazy simple with this, and we can just do this right now. We could just go blank. And let me see. This vault is called, let's see, CXO Catalyst. I don't know if you have any images for it, but here, we're just gonna do a
Yeah,
one column.
the images are all in there.
Okay, and then here we can say, if you don't see an email from me within the next hour, head over here and get in touch. And head over here is just going to be a contact form. All right, and in the settings, this is going to be by link only, and we are not going to show navigation, and this is going to be confirmation. Super simple, looks like this. Can you add more to it? Totally. Do you have to? Absolutely not. Here you go. So that's the information that you want to have there. And then on this payment setup page on your vault, let me refresh this real quick. Then that can be the page that you send them to. And it's as simple as that. So entry settings, oh wait, payment setup, sorry. There it is. So after, they're going to go to confirmation. So after they purchase, they're simply going to a page that says those things so that they can go do that thing you've told them to do. And of course, you can make that prettier, but that's really all the information that needs to be on a page like that. But yeah, if you've got everything else done, do you have a sales page for it, or how do you intend to sell this?
I have an email list and really marketing directly to the people who are already have indicated they're interested in engaging. I'm kind of lost on whether I should use a lead page or a sales page. I mean, I'm getting confused on what the difference between those things are.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make it more complicated than it needs to be. I really just want to find a way to market this course because I have people interested in taking it.
Perfect.
And I just need to get them the link to sign up and pay money so we can do it.
Okay, well then if you are ready otherwise, then you're going to copy this checkout page link and you could go and send that to people who are ready to buy right now. Copy the checkout page link.
Well,
And,
I did, and the page that it leads to is actually not the checkout page. It's just the like the member page, that landing page for the for the vault. There's no checkout information on there. It just shows a picture of the course on it.
Yeah, so that's what it would look like if you click that link. But if you were to, because you're signed in as an administrator, so if you were to say open a new private window in your browser and paste that in, then you can see that that's actually not what it looks like to somebody who is somebody who's checking that out. So here, let me switch my share and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. This is your checkout page, right? So this is the the image that you set up for it in the vault, and then here's the information that you would put in that field, right? This is where I had mentioned that you could
Okay,
put
so that's what you see. Okay.
Yes, this is what everybody else will see if you share that link, that checkout page link. You're
And
seeing something different
question,
because you're logged in as an administrator.
got it. So that's why I'm not seeing what the customer sees.
Mhm.
The Catalyst community is what I want to call my free call. And I'm not really sure if that needs to be in a separate vault altogether, or if that goes in this vault, or maybe it doesn't even need to go in the vault since there's no payment
You got it.
for
Yeah.
that.
So what you would want to do in that case is actually that same training that I put into the chat just a bit ago that I recommended to Cheryl. If you were to maybe set up a call funnel, so this would be where you are offering that Catalyst call, and then they're able to fill out a form that gives you some information about them. They go to the next page, they book on your calendar, and then you, of course, can close them onto this this workshop or this vault. You can send them that link, they can purchase, etc. you could certainly set that up. But yeah, that's not something that would be in the vault. That's something that would be on your website. So this would be, you would accomplish that using pages on your website.
Okay. And you said that was something that you sent in the chat to
Yeah.
Cheryl?
Yep. That was here just a bit ago, but I can show you again here. If we go to Success Academy and then check our live trainings and replays, I'm going to type in call funnel. Actually, that's more specifically what you're looking for, is like a call funnel. Here we go, discovery call funnel. This is actually a slightly different one that I would recommend for you. It is going to follow some of the same steps, right? So that integration of your Zoom call with your Calendly, etc. But this is more of the architecture of a funnel where someone is going to put in information. So I am this type of business owner, or, you know, whoever your ideal person is, and here are the symptoms, and here are the issues, and here's what I want, etc. They fill that out, and then they're taken to a page where they can see your calendar, book a time with you. And then of course that goes onto your calendars respectively. They get sent an email automatically because Calendly does that. And then you are off to the races for a call with them. So I'm putting this into the chat right now. And so that's your discovery call funnels. That's what you would be setting up. And if yeah, Dr. Melvia, you're still here, that's one I recommend for you as well, if you have not seen that one yet. Yeah,
So
that's what you could
should
be putting out front to, like, you know, initiate those conversations with people.
should that community then just be called something else, since it's not the free call? I'm not sure how to name the vaults in a way that makes sense.
Got you. Yeah. So the member area is something that you should name very generally, right? So this is going to be, like, we call it the client portal, because if you're a client of ours, then here are all of these things that live in this space. And then the individual vaults are named for what's inside them. Right. So if you could sell a community if this is a membership, but if this is the workshop, then you're probably going to want to name that workshop. What's the thing that's in the vault that people are buying? That's what you would name it. So if you have a
Okay.
community that you're building that is maybe free for people to join, then you would have a separate vault. You would call that community. It has a discussion room, etc. But if you have another vault, that's a course, you're going to want to name it for whatever the course is. And maybe it does have community features, or maybe you even have a paid community. Like you have all of these are options, but you're going to want to name the member area according to your brand and the types of offerings, the umbrella of offerings that you could put in there. And then each of the vaults is going to be named for the offer. So that's going to be course, it's going to be program,
Okay. So I would
membership,
have a
etc.
different vault for every course.
Yes, yes. And unless you're planning on putting a bunch of courses into one offer. Yeah, you're going to have a different vault for
Okay.
each one.
Okay. That's where I got confused. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing. All right, great question today, you guys. If you did not get to chat, if you are looking at the future availability of our calls, it looks like we're steadily booked up with the 2 slots, but there seems to be a higher demand. Send us a message. Let us know, hey, I would like to get onto a call, but I'm not seeing anything. We can absolutely shift our operating strategy here and expand the time to working with you more on these live sessions, and maybe opening that up to 3 calls per session. We could absolutely do that. So just let us know. And that's attractwell.com. /work review is where you're going to want to go if you want to get onto a call like this one and talk together. If the thing that you're trying to work on, if you feel like it needs a lot of time, if it's not something that we've already covered in our previous live sessions, we may just dedicate a whole session to you. So just let us know. Reach out, support@attractwell.com. We so appreciate your time and attention. We love helping you get out there and do meaningful work. So we look forward to seeing you again next week, hearing from you in the meantime. You guys have a great week. Take care, everybody.